Hello and welcome back, everyone, to this wonderful, amazing new episode of the series that we are hosting. And I hope that you're enjoying all the episodes that we are coming with. And today we have with us one amazing person, Parul. Hi, Parul. How are you?
Hello, Manik. I'm good. How are you?
I'm also doing good. So we would love to know more about yourself, Parul, and what your journey looked like and how you started in the field.
Yeah, sure. So I work as a DevRel at Kleros. For those who haven't heard about Kleros, it's a decentralized arbitration protocol on Ethereum and Arbitrum. Basically, it handles disputes for things like escrow, prediction markets, curator list, content moderation, DAO governance, all of that. And for my job is kind of the bridge between engineering ships and the developers and community on the outside. So it's documentation, technical content, community, and lately a lot of AI tooling works on top of all of that. Talking about the path here was honestly pretty winding. I got into blockchain back in 2020 when I was still in college. I had a course in cryptography and blockchain basics, and I had some free time. So I was just started taking online courses and go deeper. And to actually test what I was learning, I applied for internships and ended up at UV Labs and Nethermind. So both were super technical roles. Solidity, Web3.js, building subgraphs, and DeFi projects. And then I was like, I figured out something about myself though. And I like the technical part, but I realized I was more drawn to the mix of enterprise and tech, not just pure hands down coding. So then I went and applied for a business analyst role at Accenture and spent over 2 days there. It was mostly digital transformation for banks, private banking, lending, compliance, credit risk, all of that. And I owned product backlogs in Jira, ran sprint ceremonies as a scrum master, setup, DevOps, all of that, a bit of everything basically.
All right.
Uh, then I think in late 2023, DevRel was a sweet spot I stumbled upon. Honestly, I didn't know about the term DevRel back then. I had heard about Kleros in 2023, and I always wanted to be a part of Kleros. If you actually look at it, it's the decentralized dispute resolution is one of the coolest applications of blockchain. So when I got the offer, I was lucky, and yeah, that's about my journey.
Wonderful. That's been one of an adventurous journey, Parul. So you said that you got an offer. So they approached you or you applied because these days a lot of people who are just getting started, they have the skills, but they are just going here and there. They don't know what path they should follow. So any practical steps because you have been a part of different organizations as a blockchain dev and now working as a DevRel. So what mistakes you see in the newcomers which they have committed and how they can start differently so that they can land good opportunities in companies specifically in blockchain and web3 since you have experience in these companies.
Right. So actually, I applied through the job portal. I def like after doing 2 years of business development, I desperately wanted to go back to blockchain because that's what I feel like my niche was. I came into business development because I wanted to, learn about the enterprise side, but I always wanted to go back to the development side whenever I got the chance. And I applied to the Kleros and I always admired their work. Like they have the super amazing resolution system. And if you want to know more about it, I can talk about it like a number of times. But yeah, so I applied through the job portal and then I got the interviews and then they had 4 or 5 rounds. When I cleared that, I got the offer. Yeah, that's about how I got into Kleros. About the mistakes which I see in newcomers, actually, I see a few patterns come up over and over again. The first one is something I still catch myself doing honestly. People feel like they need to read everything about a tech before they start using it. They'll spend weeks watching tutorials, reading docs before they ever touch anything. Uh, they'll The shift that actually moves you forward is the opposite. That's what I believe. You have to start experimenting earlier than you feel ready. Let the gaps in your understanding pull you back into the documentation. That's I believe how it actually sticks. The second one is, especially in Web3, is chasing hype. That's what I feel that most people, make mistakes about. Every couple of feet, there is a new narrative, a new chain, a new buzzword, and people learn the surface level terms, talk about it, talk on the Twitter, and never actually go deep into understanding the mechanics of it. Then the hype dies out, and they are actually stuck in between with no real depth in anything. Learning a few hype terms does basically nothing for you. Understanding the basics first, build on top of them, and then that's what also sets you for the longer term, I believe. And the last one is, I think, it's a soft thing. People don't usually ask questions early enough. Like, honestly, I believe a question is never a dumb question. That's, how just everybody starts. Even the people at the top, you sometimes feel overwhelmed or intimidated with. They also, they don't actually know everything, and they have learned. They just have learned to ask faster. These are the three mistakes which I see the newcomers making.
Amazing, Parul. So, as you have an experience of blockchain developer previously, and then you transition into DevRel, there are a lot of people specifically working in the DevRel domain that don't have a technical experience, but still they are working in blockchain or specific protocols and chains as a DevRel. So, there's a difference between these two, and if yes, or if no, I want to know. And as you come from the technical background and now you're into blockchain, so how it is helping you with your work that you are doing in the particular company as your role?
Okay. So being a developer and being a developer relations is not totally different, but a bit different, because in developer you have to code stuff and you have to take ownership of the product on the coding side. But on the developer side, you have different hats on. So you basically write content, you make documentations, you make contents. Like in the first session, we had this conversation with Bianca. We have to make content for three type of audiences. One is for the developers, one is for the bots, and one is for non-tech people. So you have to wear all those hats in the role of a developer relations, and not as a developer, because in a developer, your core focus is to make code, is to make that product or make that feature go to a production level. And I genuinely feel like developer relations is a very critical role, because in that you have to make sure whatever the team has shipped, it's okay, it's understandable to a certain level of audience. Like developers will find it much easier to understand whatever the code has been written. But for the general audience, it's equally important to let them know what your team has been building and what they are been shipping for the past few times. So um, yeah, that's for the developer relations part. And sorry, what's the second question that you ask?
It covers majorly around everything which I wanted to ask. And
Okay.
moving forward, do you leverage AI in your work, Parul? And if yes, then how?
Yes, I actually a lot, but I want to be specific because I use AI can mean anything these days. So the way I think about AI is actually really good when you give it enough context, but you have to be the one deciding the architecture, the plan, and the structure. The model isn't a substitute for your taste or your judgment. It's an accelerator on the top. That's a yes. But if you don't have a clear point of view going in, the model will just fill in with the average of the internet. From the day to day, I dump most of my ideas into a chat and use it to think through the structure. For repeated work, I build skills. So I'm not redoing the same task every time. Uh, for the clearest, like I can give you the clear example of this. I actually write monthly developer blog at Kleros. So for every month, I have to pull updates from the GitHub and turn them into a blog post. For that, I have built a skill that fetches the data and writes the draft. Then I take the draft and edit it into something publishable. So that's how I use the skill part for the I let the skill handle the boring part, and I handle the judgment part. And one more thing that I'm building as Kleros is AI native layer. So basically, we have been rolling out three things. There is LLM text and MCP servers, AI assistants, all of that. Like we are migrating from Gitbook to Mentlify, which is an AI native documentation platform, which is really great, by the way. Yeah.
Amazing. We would love to check it out. In the description, audience, I'll share all the links. You can check it out, and also you can connect with Parul. She's amazing. I'll share all the social handles so that you can connect with her. Amazing. So moving forward, Parul, we would love to know how you get to know about DevRel Uni, and so far what you have learned in the program that you want to share with us.
Sure. Honestly, I'm a huge fan of Bianca, and I met her last year in Argentina at DevConnect. And I just asked her about any upcoming cohorts. As soon as I get to know about this one, I applied and I got this opportunity to be a part of this cohort, DevRel Uni, and met amazing people at this cohort. So what I've taken away so far is something I already was sensing but couldn't really articulate. The tech world is moving at this exponential pace, and the natural reaction is to feel overwhelmed and to to try to keep up with everything. The better move is to make sure your own presence gets counted in it. Use AI, lean on it, but bring your taste. I think Hassan has said something in the past session that stuck with me. You have to have good taste. The tools are getting cheap. Judgment is the thing which isn't. So I believe that's the one thing. And the other thing which cohorts give you is peer signal. When you are the only DevRel in your company, you don't really have anyone internally who does that, what you do. So hearing other DevRels are thinking about how they are thinking about prioritization, metrics, pushing back on stakeholder, that's hard to get any other way. So yeah, honestly, these are the things which I've learned in this.
Wonderful, Parul. So what are you building in DevRel Uni? We'd love to know about that as well, and why so?
Okay. My project is something I am calling the DevRel AI stack. The idea is to build a research for DevRel folks that tracks AI development through the lens of how they actually change the craft. What it ends up looking is a monthly report. The audience is DevRel people, technical writers, advocates, community managers, DevRel leads. People who are watching the AI landscape move fast and don't have a pointed resource telling them which bits of it actually affect their work. And honestly, it's also for me. I'm living with this problem at Kleros every day, deciding what to adopt and what to ignore and what to bet on. This is the resource, I wish I had known or existed for me. The core problem, which I'm trying to say, is signal to noise. Like there is a lot of general news. Almost none of it is filtered for what it means for docs, community, content. Most DevRel teams also underinvest, I believe, in AI native tooling, not because they don't want to, but because the cost of figuring out what matters is just too high. And for why this project, I think I actually covered it, like the two reasons that kind of point the same way. Short term, I'm already building, like I'm building Mentlify AI features, building MCP server writing skills. So this is a way to take that ongoing learning and make it public, not just internal. Longer term, I wanted to know like what all other developer relations are making and what are other AI tools that's worth getting your attention to or worth building upon is.
Wow, that's really amazing, Parul. I would love to try it out. Do let me know once it'll be live. Would love to check it out.
Yeah, sure.
Nice, and you can also check it out. You'll find the link in the description, guys. So moving forward, have you faced any challenges in your role, Parul, and how you overcome it?
The DevRel role, right?
Yeah, of course, your current role in the DevRel role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the first was actually the freedom thing. So I came from an MNC, which was Accenture. I was used to reporting everything, very tight procedures, very narrow lanes. At Kleros, it was completely the opposite. A ton of freedom, very little prescription, and you basically have to define your own scope. So for the few months, I genuinely don't know how much was mine to own. Also, DevRel covers documentation, a lot of things. So when you are the only person doing all of it, the natural mistake is to spread thin and finish nothing.
Yeah.
What helped was just writing down what I was doing every circle in this progress, plans, problems, all of that. Once it was on paper, I could see what was working and what was just, theater. That gave me the confidence to scope my own work. The second is the one that I also mentioned earlier. I still struggle with it, honestly, wanting to read everything before I start. I'll convince myself I need to fully understand a piece of tech before I touch it. And that genuinely pulls me away from actually experimenting with it. Yeah. So these are the two things. And I think the fix is just to start earlier, even when I feel underprepared or when you feel underprepared, that just, let the experiment go with the flow. Let yourself experiment it and learn.
Pretty amazing. So Parul, we would love to know what advices do you have for someone who want to be a DevRel in Web3 and blockchain space? Like they don't know anything, but they wanted to become a DevRel. So suppose considering you would be at such a place where you want to be a DevRel, so how you'll start again at this point of time?
I think in our sessions also, this has been communicated a lot of time that you have to build in public, you have to make an identity of your own. So I would like to emphasize on that also. Like, it will be my piece of advice as well. Like, write a lot in public. Everything you can write, not just threads, write technical articles, write tutorials, deep dives, pick a protocol, learn it properly, and explain it in your own words. Explain it how you understood it. Explain it how you will like teach it to anybody else. It should not be perfect, but it should be your own version. That's what I believe. Like, you have to make your own identity. And the other thing which I felt is you have to go broad before you go deep. Uh, for example, in the DevRel world, if you want to say, try everything. There is content, there is community, product side, DX work, everything. Spend some time actually doing each in some form. Then figure out which one is your real niche. Don't restrain yourself, don't constrain yourself too early. And honestly, I would say this in general as well for career. Also, don't restrain yourself to just one profile. Explore every breadth, go in breadth, and then you find your niche and go in depth. And there
Wonderful.
is one more.
Yeah, please go
Sorry,
ahead.
there is one more. You have, if you want to be a devil, I think it's important that you get technical enough to be dangerous, especially in Web3. You don't need to ship production level smart contracts, but you should be able to read code. You should be able to, try out those features, test those implementations. Um, so yeah, these are the things which I will suggest people.
Wonderful. Moving forward, any three advices and three mistakes, Parul, that you want to share from your life that will that could really help our audience in their lives?
Yeah, sure. For the advices, I'll say go out there and meet people, make real connections, conferences, discords. A lot of side events are happening everywhere. So there is a lot of opportunity. Go out and meet people. In the industry, people just move through people who already trust each other. Like I said, the way I got into DevRel Uni was literally a conversation at DevConnect. So yeah, and like 10 or 15% more, that margin is what builds a real reputation, and it kind of becomes your moat over time. People notice the ones who constantly go past the speculation specifications. It compounds into the kind of credibility you can't fake on a resume. That's I think from a life lesson. Yeah, and I think the last one would be don't be scared to move between industries, into between domains, between jobs. What are the challenges? Take it on, but do it smartly. Like, give yourself 3 or 4 months to actually learn the new industry, build a mental model, and then start moving into the new role. You don't have to burn the bridge with your current one to start exploring the next. That overlap is what gives you a stable base while you make the switch. That's for the advices. And for the three mistakes I have seen in my path, I would say, uh, you don't have to conform to the pattern the industry has set for you. Every industry has this template for how a career should go. Do this role, then that role, then this title. The people who actually leave a mark are the ones who break that pattern. Take the challenge that don't fit the script. Bring your own perspective. Yeah. And the second is, I mentioned this earlier as well, not asking enough questions. People stay stuck because they treat questions as evidence of inexperience, or they treat some question as dumb questions. They are not. Even the people at the top don't know some things, and it's okay. They just, learned it. And if you feel awkward asking in a group, DM anybody, and don't even think that every question is dumb. Yeah.
Wonderful. That's beautifully summed up, Parul. All the advices and all the mistakes, and maybe our audience would get to know a lot of like it's come out from experience, right? So it will really help you if you just admit these and can learn out of it. So thank you so much, Parul, for coming in, for sharing all the advices, all the wisdoms, and for your time. It's been amazing talking to you, and see ya maybe another time, IRL. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Manik, for having me.